I would never get picked first. I would never get picked last. I get picked in the middle, which I'd argue is worse. Because you see the people that get picked first. You see the people that get picked last. You don't care about the guy that gets picked in the middle. I always felt like that guy in the middle. Some fat kid, his parents wouldn't let me eat sugar. And I was like, okay, I can give you sugar. I'll get you these brownies. And I'd give him 4 packs of brownies for $5 each. And sometimes I'd even upsell them on a Doritos bag. So I'd make like $20, $22. If you're trying to find your passion and you're worried about the finances, how are you gonna find your passion? And the little e-com sauce what actually turned me profitable. I remember getting my first sale, I was screaming downstairs, screaming, jumping. I don't know why I just got so hyped. So I have to just be alone again for a bit. I've been kind of losing myself in a way here, but losing myself in a way where I enjoy it. Damn, that was actually very well worded, bro. I feel like I could have commented on like 5 different things you said.
And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Posh Night Club. So our next guest is a 20-year-old making absolute noise in his e-com brand. He's cost 7 figures. Good friend of mine, Mr. CEO Rayan. Welcome on the pod, brother.
Appreciate you having me on. It's my first podcast.
It's kind of taking the podcast virginity. So you know the first question, everyone has to hear it. Rayan, what are you passionate about?
I actually don't have an answer to that. Like passion-wise, I'd say money. As of right now.
Why are you passionate about that?
Because you can't do much without it. And I feel like if you're trying to find your passion and you're worried about the finances, how are you going to find your passion?
Fair enough.
So it's like, I'd rather solve problem A and then I can figure out problem B.
Would you say you're passionate about e-com?
I like the aspect of marketing, and I like the fact that it is something that not a lot of people can succeed in, because it has that competitive aspect to it. And the fact that a lot of people fail at it means that I can succeed. I just like that aspect of it.
So then, what do you say to people if they hit you with, I want to find my passion, I want to make money through my passion?
It's not bad. I mean, you have to find, for example, if you're passionate about something like, I don't know, reading books, are you going to make money with that? No. Can you try to maybe read on a YouTube video and make a YouTube channel where you're just reciting books and stuff and make some audiobooks? Maybe, but it's like your chances of doing that is like so slim, right? And some people just don't care about money, which is fair enough. Like if some guy's at a beach and he loves surfing and he makes $2K a month and he enjoys surfing, he goes to sleep fulfilled that night, cool, do your thing. But for me, that just wasn't it. So I feel like, I don't know, money just solves it for me personally.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So a little bit of background is I've known you for almost 8 to 9 years. It's
been a minute.
Right? Yeah. And you're like, and the way it started was in grade 9, best friends with my younger brother, always used to come to the house. And my biggest thing is that my brother's friends are always my friends are always my brother's friends, right? It's always just been a thing. And I've kind of seen you through many stages in your life when you used to sell AirPods to a clothing brand to sales to X and Y and Z. Yeah. And I feel like you've been all over the place, right? So I kind of want to give you the spotlight and really like walk me through from where you started from the kid selling AirPods and the obese kid selling AirPods to like this fucking tycoon of an e-com giant making all this noise now. Like, tell me about that.
I could say, actually, we'll take it way back, because like the first time I ever made like $1, like a proper dollar, was probably selling stuff in primary school. Like, you know, you hear about those kids that like sell stuff in elementary school, they have an entrepreneur mind or whatever. I just want a little bit of money, and I just thought it was cool. So like that's kind of all it was. And for example, there was one kid in my class. I don't know why, I just never forget this story because it was so unique. This one kid, some fat kid, his parents wouldn't let me eat sugar. And I was like, okay, I can give you sugar. I'll get you these brownies. Because one time he asked me for my brownie. And I was like, bro, just buy some. He's like, I can't. My parents won't let me. So I would go grocery shopping with my dad. And this was like 101 drop shipping, because I'd put 4 boxes of brownies in the cart. How much was it? It was $2 each. And I had 0 product costs because my dad was buying the groceries. So I'd get these 4 packs every week on Monday, and I'd give him 4 packs of brownies for $5 each. And sometimes I'd even upsell them on a Doritos bag. So I'd make like $20, $22 a week. And like, I would just take that money and I'd go CSGO skins or like, you know, some shit like that, put it into Steam. But that was like my little allowance. And like, bro, when you're in the 5th grade, like you have $20, like damn, that's cash. $20.
I'll play that.
Like, yeah, it was fire. And the same thing grade 7 when fidget spinners came out, because that was the wave. I didn't really run that shit up, but I remember I went to the dollar store and I saw these fidget spinners. I was like, yo, these are trending right now. So many people want to buy them. I didn't even know they sold them here. So I thought, okay, if I didn't know they sold them here, and I'm seeing it all over the place, other people probably don't know they sell them here, so I can sell it to them. And they were $7 each. And my mom was with me. I was like, yo, Mom, buy me 10 of these. And I'll pay you your money back. I'll give you a little bit of extra money, and then I'm gonna keep the rest. And she's like, all right. So she buys me 10 of them. I go home. I go on Snapchat. I start recording these fidget spinners. I sold out like within a week. I don't know why I didn't sell more, to be honest, but I would sell them for $20 each. And like everybody's messaging me, like, yo, can I buy one? Can I buy one? Can I buy one? And they sold like really fast. And that was like literally drop shipping in a sense, bro. Like I'll just buy low and then sell it higher. Yeah, and I guess the only difference was like I actually sold it myself rather than somebody shipping it for me. But I was in school, bro. Like I don't need to ship it. I just hand it to them at school. And then next was like selling accounts. I remember that was a big thing.
No way.
Yeah, it's actually a funny story. Yeah, League of Legends accounts, because I used to play League of Time, and also Fortnite accounts, because I was big on video games growing up, and I'll get into that later. But Fortnite accounts or whatever, we started that. But I remember we ran that shit up to like $300 in like 7th grade, 8th grade.
Per account?
Not per account, like together.
Okay, totally.
And we had it on a PayPal, and then the PayPal caught a hold.
No way.
So we just lost the money.
Damn.
Yeah. We'd buy these Fortnite accounts from one seller. He'd sell them for like $6-7, and we'd sell them for like $20-25. Go into the Discords and start telling people like, yo, buy these accounts. Like he has this skin, the Red Knight, what's the Red Knight, and like Renegade Raider, and, all that shit. And we sell those. And then later I found the same thing with League accounts, because I was playing League, and I used to play a ton of League, and I had so many accounts. So I was thinking like, yo, why can't I just sell these? And then I would buy these League accounts that I would buy to play on, but this time I was buying to sell them. Like I was buying extra ones to sell them. And then the same thing, like $7-8 a pop, maybe less. And actually, I think one time it was like $3. And this was kind of fucked up. But there's this one account that I bought. I was just gonna sell it normally for like $15-20, just get my profit, whatever. But this specific account had like this really rare skin on it. So I posted it on G2G. If you guys know what that is, it's like a kind of like an online marketplace. Imagine like eBay for accounts. Okay. So I posted on G2G, and 2 people hit me up. Like so fast, like same day, everything hit me up, and I was selling this account for $80. And I bought it for $3. I sold it for $80. They both hit me up that they both wanted it, and I got a little greedy. So what I did is I sold them both the same account. Oh shit! I sold them both the same account, and they both messaging me saying like, "Yo, somebody's trying to log into the account." And both of them. So I took $80 from this guy, $80 from this guy. I gave him the account. I just fucked up. So, I was fucking 13 years old, it was $160.
Fair enough.
Might as well take it. And then after that, I didn't really do anything with money for a minute. That was when I started playing League. If we touch up on that, because I feel like League was like a big part of my life.
Normally, first love almost.
Sounds kind of like weird when I say it like that, but
how many hours were you playing again in League?
I was playing a lot, bro.
Yeah, talking about first love, and that's so weird to say. Yeah. No. Keep going, keep going. We'll talk about it.
No, I was actually fucked. Like, sometimes I wake up early before school. I play it.
That's crazy. Before school is crazy.
Yeah, sometimes I skip school. Yeah, I don't care about school anyways. Like, it was online, bro. It was COVID time.
Okay, valid.
I remember in 10th grade, everything up until 10th grade is actually like pretty normal. Like, pretty normal high school. Everybody's just in a gang and shit, and I'm just spectating. Like, I never like partook in it, but I liked watching, because like, some people are just banging out and shit. It's kind of fun,
I remember that.
And then you remember the high school arc, bro. The grade 9, grade 10, going to COVID. And before then I was playing League, but like kind of casually. And then when COVID hit, I was like, I'm just chilling at home. I'm like, if you guys know League of Legends, is like a ranking system, right? So I was probably like, I think at that time it was like platinum or some shit, diamond, like nothing crazy. But I was just playing like pretty casually. And then after I was like, yo, why don't I just take this seriously? Like, I'm kind of having fun. And I think I had not to get sidetracked, but I had a FaceTime with one of my friends. We were literally talking about this. Like, this is literally the reason why I feel like I get obsessed with shit really, really fast. I think I developed it from this game. And I kind of just fell in love with like the concept of like leveling up, right? Because when you win a game, you get LP. LP is just like your points, and then once you get 100 LP, you rank up to the next. You keep ranking up. And in my head, I'm just like, okay, I want to be the best. I don't know why I wanted to be the best. I just knew I wanted to be the best, so I was going to be the best, and then I would just play until I got it.
Fair enough.
And then I think in like 2 months, I hit the highest rank in the game, and I was 16 at the time. So like, all these people that play this game, and like, keep in mind, like, there's like millions of players that play just in North America. I think close to like 10 million, something like that. Like, a lot of players. Challenger is the top 300 out of that 10 million. So hitting that is like your top like 0.00001%. So like anybody that plays that game, bro, they just suck you off. Like they just praise you like crazy, you know. And then I think from there, that's when I thought I want to go pro, right? Because I was thinking like, yo, I'm gonna make a ton of money with this. I could travel, I can do whatever, I can you know, play this game. I love this game, whatever. And as I'm playing, there's a lot of stories in between, but that would get lost. But anyways, get to a point where now we're applying for uni, right? Grade 12, and I've been playing this game this whole time, all this shit. And I applied for this one university, Western, if anybody knows what that is. It's a university in London, Ontario, and applied for that because they had a really good league team, right? One of the best in North America almost, right? Not the best, but pretty up there. So I was like, yo, I want to play on their team. And then
So you applied to university just so you can play league on that university?
Yeah, I didn't care about school, bro. I didn't care about school. I just wanted to go play. So I applied for it. I got accepted for it. Like, I literally studied to get into this school. I didn't care about school. I just studied so I could go play the game. Deadass. And then I get into school. I'm like hyped, okay? And then by the time summer was over, I realized I didn't care about the game anymore. Like, this is not what I wanted to do in life. Like, it just, I don't know what happened. I just fell out of love with it. Maybe I just got more in touch with grass, and I started touching, like, going out with my friends and shit. But like, I did not want to play the game anymore. So at that point, I get to the university, and I'm there, like, first day, second day, I'm trying to settle in, and I just can't settle. Like, I hated it. I hated every second of it. And it was like, at that point, that's when I started to feel like kind of lost. And, like, because it's like, what do I do now? You know, like, everything building up the past 3-4 years, like, I literally studied. I went to a tutor for math to come here to play this game, and I'm not playing this game. I just don't care to play the game. And I'm just sitting there in class, and I'm like, I also don't give a fuck about school. I don't. I'm sitting in these classes, and like, nothing makes sense because I just can't be asked. Like, I visibly, like, it's not even that I can't do school, because I wholeheartedly believe that I can if I really gave enough of a fuck, but I just didn't. And like, I just never really did. And then I'm trying to study, I can't study. I'm trying to work, can't work, I can't be asked. So at that point, I'm just trying to research all this stuff. And I remember that was the first time I heard about dropshipping. There was this guy named Nathan Nazareth, who, I don't think he's a scammer or anything, but I remember at the time, it's actually, the world just goes full circle. He had a call booking funnel at the time. And I remember I'm looking into dropshipping, I'm watching his videos, whatever, and it's like, yeah, if you're serious, and like, we're only limited spots. I believe all that shit. Yeah, you know, like, limited spots, and like, this is only if you're really serious. You're gonna show up to the call and all this stuff. You have this much money to invest. Like, this is an investment. This is. I just got scared. I didn't actually book the call, right? And I was like, nah, this guy's sketchy, bro. Whatever. Like, this is like I literally felt like the guys on TikTok comments that I like kind of, not necessarily make fun of, but like the NPC fuckers, like that was me, you know? And I was like, you know, I'm just gonna give it a shot on my own. And I started learning about dropshipping, and at the time I was doing TikTok ads, not even Facebook. So like, I really didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Like, I was just doing anything. And I remember running these 2 products, which one of them was actually a product that, if you guys don't know Jordan Welch, he ran this product up, and he actually exited his brand for about I forgot how many million, I think 2 million or more, but he actually ran the same product up. It was a sleep mask, right? And he ran it up from the start. I was testing the same product. Obviously it didn't do shit for me, but he ran that up. He made a ton of money from it. I just thought it was cool that I tested the same product. It was my first product I ever tested. And then after that, you know, like, there's like those trendy products that you'll see on TikTok. I sold one of those. It was like a little cat, like, it was like a line thing that you put on your cat, like a Halloween costume. Right? I remember coming up with the logo, and I called it Dripper. Like, drip, purr, like,
drip purr,
yeah. Right? So I tried to do like some play on words and shit. I come home, I put it on my cat, and I'm recording in the car and stuff. It's not a single sale, like,
no way.
Yeah, both those stores, like, I didn't get a single sale. So after that second store, I'm like, yo, this shit is dead. This shit sucks.
Dropshipping doesn't work.
Yeah,
you came to that conclusion.
Yeah, I was like, dropshipping doesn't work. This is ass. In hindsight, I think if I stuck with it from then, holy fuck, I'd be so much richer, bro. It's fucking crazy. But, you know, life happens. You know, everything happens for a reason. So I quit that, and at the time we started doing pretty much just selling stuff on like Marketplace. Started looking more into that kind of like reselling, right? And then after uni, I remember I was trying to go back to the university close to home, where you go. Guelph. So I was like, all right, I want to get the fuck out of Western. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go back. I didn't even care about transferring schools. I just wanted to get home, to just be at home, be with my boys at least. So like, okay, if I'm going to school, at least there's people I know. Because at Western, bro, I just didn't talk to anybody. Like I don't know, it was like a really, like looking back, I kind of miss it weirdly. But I remember it, I don't know why. Because like, I felt so lost at that point. Right.
I feel like a lot of times when you speak about it, you almost need that. I wouldn't say even if it's not a lonely chapter, you need that period of isolation in your life where you're backed into a corner, and the only way you can, like, you have to crawl out of it. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's important for like everybody to kind of experience that. And maybe in that aspect, you not continuing with that drop shipping was what kind of made you continue with drop shipping 2 years from now. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like I can resonate with you when you say that you almost need to have that entire corner where you feel so lonely, and maybe that's why you're kind of now getting into a different aspect of your life. But before I get into that, I want you to continue your story.
No, I definitely agree with that, because I feel like without that time period, I honestly don't know what would have happened. But I feel like that loneliness, like I just had so much time to think and really just like reflect 100%. And analyze stuff. And that's kind of why I do what I do now. Like I'm constantly just going on walks, or I'm in a parking lot just thinking, not even like some weird depressing shit, just like literally in my thoughts with a journal, or just in my own thoughts. And I think it was from that time, because it was some psychopathic shit. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was some psychopathic shit. Like if I tell the story, and I feel like people don't deep it enough, because like it was 12 a.m. I would go to the gym. There was a bus that would take you directly in front of the gym. I would opt to skip the bus. Instead, I would walk an hour, like to the point, like I was walking past crackheads through these tunnels, like side routes and all this shit, just to walk to the gym, just so I had like a peace of mind that I'm walking. So I'd walk for an hour, work out for 2 hours, walk an hour back, from 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. every day on repeat. And then, yeah, I just did that shit in Western. Like that was like
that period of time,
accurate representation of my mental health at the time.
I think the ones who get it, you know, they said the ones who get it, and I think the people in that time, or at least for me too, I remember there was a period of isolation where like I was like in India, and I got like stuck there during quarantine, and all my flights kept getting delayed, and I was there for a 4-month trip, became a 9-month trip. And I felt like I was very alone at that time, because all my brothers and my family were all here, and kind of same thing, it was that period of like, okay, like shit, like no one else is here but me, like it's only me and my thoughts. And I think I hated it in the moment, but looking back at it, I feel like that was like the great shift that happened in my mind, you know, where I started taking things more seriously, started getting into personal development, the books, not someone coming from like a place in high school where I was known as like the funny kid or whatever, to the point where like, okay, like he's not stupid, like there's actually something about him, blah blah blah. But kind of going back into it, you fast forward, you drop out of university, you want to get into a new one, and then what's happening then?
So at that point, I didn't drop out of that one. I just wanted to switch schools. Okay. Right, I wanted to switch my major, because I was like, computer science, it's a lot harder, and I know I'm eventually going to drop out once I figure out how I'm going to drop out. So if I have to be in school, I might as well be in it for like business or something. And then I was like, okay, so what's the easiest course I can apply for? Just applied for some random finance shit. And then I got in. My original plan of action was to get into comp sci. But I got a 49 on my last exam. I needed a 50. I made an excuse. I told the prof, like, yo, my dad passed away, and I have brothers. And I have a whole email. I said, like, yo, my mom's at home. She's a single mother, and like I can't take care of my brothers alone, and like I'm trying to go back home so I can transfer to Guelph.
For that one.
Bro.
Did he buy it or no?
No, his response was, your grade has been uploaded. I checked grade and I failed.
Damn.
So I was like, yo, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Pissed me off. That really pissed me off. And then I was like, okay, fuck this. And I found out that Guelph had like some online school, so I was just like getting credits. And I was like, okay, I'll apply next semester. So I started getting these credits, and then I'm kind of just chilling at home with friends and all this stuff. And then after that, eventually I get into Guelph. But in the time I got to Guelph, I don't know what it was. Something about, and like, I don't know if it was like some social anxiety or what it was. Whenever I step foot into a school, I just feel very awkward. Like awkward in the sense like like it feels weird. I can't explain it. I can't explain it. It makes me sound like a pussy.
Yeah.
But it just makes me feel out of place. It makes me feel slightly anxious. Or what, I don't know if anxious is the right word.
What's the difference between this feeling that you're feeling when you're in school versus the feeling of being backed into a corner and all that stuff? Because some may say, like, kind of going with what you said, like, oh, you almost need that. But how do you know the difference between this is good for me, I need this time for myself, versus I'm putting myself in a situation that I don't like?
It's almost like if I'm alone, I can at least think of a solution that I know came from me. Whereas if I'm in school, I know I'm there for someone that isn't me.
You're playing someone else's cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just never felt kind of like included in the way. Like I've never been bullied in my life, which is, you know, like for me to feel this way, it feels kind of off. Like I've never been bullied.
Out of character almost.
Had great friends, great come up, great family, great environment, great everything. No complaints. I just never felt like I belonged. Or like the best example I could give is like if you're in the gym, right? Like school gym, you're in gym class and you're getting picked for the volleyball team, right? I would never get picked first. I would never get picked last. I get picked in the middle, which I'd argue is worse. Because you see the people that get picked first. You see the people that get picked last. You don't care about the guy that gets picked in the middle.
Fair
right?
enough.
I always felt like that guy in the middle. You know, almost like that feeling of like not being seen. And like I would try and fit in some environments or fit in with, you know, certain friend groups or whatever. But I just never felt like in place. And I never wanted to be like just the guy that was just there. You know every friend group has like that guy that's just there. Just bully and shit. The guy that's just there. I never wanted to be that. So I thought, okay.
So would you say your fear of being average was what motivated you to excel?
100%, I think, but I didn't recognize that until later.
Okay.
Like this is like some reflecting that I did like just recently that I found this out, because all of this was subconscious, right? And I think like that's why I started playing League, because it was all on my own. Right? There's nobody here to judge me. There's nobody here to play with me. There's no one here to play against me. It's just everybody online.
You against you.
Right? So it's me against me. And that kind of gave me the confidence to be like, hey, I can make something of myself that isn't contingent about existing circumstances. Like there isn't a existing friend group or an existing environment that I have to fit into. I can curate my own environment.
Fair enough.
And it's weird because a lot of people that are in this type of, I guess, headspace would want to be seen, right? They want to put themselves out there. They want to tell people what they're doing. They want to showcase their successes and stuff. I also have a problem with that. I don't like talking about what I do. Like, believe it or not, I know my TikToks.
Yeah, I'm sure 10K followers on TikTok and all that. Doesn't want to like talking about it, but here we are.
Yeah, like the only reason I post is like I think everything comes down to selfish reasons. Like the reason I post and give out value is ultimately inherently selfish. Right? I do like helping
increase
people.
The status as well as like kind of in your own mind, you feel like you're leveling up in that.
Yeah. So it's like kind of for myself, like a personal brand can benefit you. You can make some money off of it, which inherently is not as much. Like I put too much effort to make that little amount of money compared to if I just put that effort to my brands. But yeah, I don't like being seen necessarily. Okay. Which is
and then going from there back into Guelph and kind of applying for there and getting into business school, what happened then where you switched into something else?
From business?
The business to sales aspect. Tell me about that.
Yeah, okay. Well, I was still in school, and this was the period where I started the clothing brand for a bit. Okay. And then I kind of lost myself for a bit after that, because like I realized like a clothing brand is not gonna make you any money, whatever. So I have to find something else. I need money, and I just didn't know what to do for like probably a month or two. I'm still in school. I'm just doing whatever, kind of minding my own business. Didn't really talk to anybody in school. I would just talk to my friends outside of it, whatever. I was like, I guess like depressed or anything, but I just didn't know what the fuck to do. And then eventually I came across this video, sales video, just on YouTube. I remember I was like in the kitchen, just making chicken and rice or something. And I see this 25-minute sales testimonial video. And then I'm watching it. I'm like, yo, it's pretty interesting. This guy just made like 30 bands. Then after that, I watched the second video, to another 25 minutes. And that video taught me a little bit about sales, how it worked, blah, blah, blah. As soon as that video finished, I was like, all right, I don't care how much the course is. I don't care, whatever. I'm buying it. This is what I'm doing. I've decided. And in my life, I always make impulsive decisions. Well, I can get into later, but very impulsive decision, right? And keep in mind, the program's $4,000. I have $400 in my account. So I got 90% of a difference to come up with. So then I was like, I go to my mom, I'm like, hey, you want me to learn stuff? Hey, I want to learn this. So my mom had money kind of set aside for like school.
Yeah.
So, and that was strictly for school. Keep in mind, she still wants me to go back to school. And I was like, listen, I've already decided my car is sold. I'm not going to drive it. Take me off the insurance. Here's the keys. It's just going to take me some time to sell. But I want to start learning this now. Excuse me. And I was like, hey, let me just borrow $4,000 from the school fund, because you're not going to need it for a while. In that time, I'll sell the car and I'll pay you back. Right? I'm just going to borrow it temporarily. The money will be back. Don't worry. And she's like, okay, sure. So I take that money. I pay for the course. And I remember, if you guys know anything about sales, if you guys have ever looked into a mentorship, I don't know what's in my eye, but if you ever looked at a mentorship, there's like a whole funnel.
Yeah.
Right, call booking funnel. You hop on the call. I booked myself in, so it was just organic lead. One of those guys, the best leads, bro. I hopped on the call and said, take my card. Like, didn't have to sell me on anything. I literally said, I remember, and keep in mind, the guy that hopped on the call actually coached me later. He was the GOAT. But yeah, they hopped on and said, here's my card, just let me buy. He's like, bro, you don't even know what you're getting yet. At least let me tell you. And I was like, no, like, I'm in. It's fine. But anyways, we have a conversation, and then I buy the course, and then essentially I sell my car, and then that's when the sales shit started. And then sales, it kind of, like, that gave me some form of, like, purpose, something to work towards. And what was cool about it is I didn't see sales purely for the money. I started to see sales as, like, a skill set. And I made it like almost like a self-mission. Like, I just want to get good at sales.
Okay.
Right. For now, my skills are probably like rushier than they were then, because I'm just hopping on calls all the time and stuff. But I was just like, I entered like this crazy sense of discipline that I miss this time. I'm low-key trying to tap into it now as soon as I move to Dubai or whatever. But I was pretty much just waking up 5 a.m. every morning. I'd wake up and I'd take a cold shower to wake myself up. Then I'd go to a Muay Thai class at 6 a.m. I wake up at 5:30, then I'd go. And then I'd pray Fajr, but right before I went to training, then I'd train for an hour, come home, shower, make a black coffee. You know what I'm saying? Like some real
putting yourself together. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, till now I still drink black coffees because of that era. And then I'd read a book. You know, all the guru shit, bro. I did all that guru shit. The journaling, the books, and then I'd start dialing, I'd start working. And then I'm working for like 5 hours, just calling people. And then I'd have breakfast. I'd just have like 6 eggs straight, like clean diet, all that. And I'd start dialing again. And then at like 6 p.m. I'd go to the gym. And then I'd come home from the gym. I'd make food, chicken and rice, you know what I'm saying? And then maybe study a little bit, watch a couple videos to learn more about sales, and go sleep and repeat again. I did that for probably like 6 months. Okay. Which was crazy, because I'm a lot more brain rot now, I can't lie, compared to before. But I did that, and in that time, I learned a lot, but the income was like super gradual. Okay. Like, first month, maybe like made a couple $100. Second month, maybe like $2K. Then third month, like $3-4K. And then from the fourth month onward, I started making like 6.5 to, I think the highest I made like 8.5. So like nothing crazy, but this is all USD. Okay. And then I was trying to kind of transition from dialing, which if you guys don't know is the guy opt into a form.
Yeah.
I was, you were on that.
I was on that too, bro. Trust me, you have to.
It's a pyramid scheme, right?
Yeah.
It's not, but anyways, so I started that. And then after that, I started getting into closing. I wanted to learn closing, started hopping calls. I remember I was so nervous to hop on calls. I don't know why. I was like a little bitch or some shit. But I was starting to get better at closing. I was learning from all these guys. And I was like reinvesting myself too. Like the guy that closed me, shout out Kishan. If you know what Kishan is? He's
seen his things.
Yeah. Kishan's the go. But I remember I paid him, I think, $2.5K for 2 months.
Okay.
To pretty much hop on a one-on-one call with me 3 times a week for 1 hour, where we would just run like role plays, and he would like kind of just like teach me one-on-one. And I don't know, I was just really fucking nervous for some reason, like on like sales calls and stuff, until like near the end, where I was like starting to get more comfortable with it, which I understand like sounds pretty like gay,
No, I feel like anyone who's on sales understands that part.
Yeah.
Of like, it takes a while.
It does.
It sounds like it's one of those things where it seems like it's not as insane until you're actually in front of a client.
Yeah.
You're like, oh fuck, I might fuck this up.
It's so weird because I feel like if I hop on a call now, I feel like it'd be like, whatever.
Okay, right? Yeah.
But also, what if I'm just saying that? You know?
Maybe.
I don't know. But anyways, so I go through that, and then what's crazy is I spent $5,000, $5K US, so like 7K something Canadian, to do one-on-ones with this guy. By the time the one-on-one ends, the next month I decided, yo, fuck sales, I'm done with this shit. So I pretty much learned. I spent all this time learning closing so I could make more money. And then I was like, I really don't fuck with this shit. I feel like a slave because I would work so many hours, and every single guy in sales, if you're in sales, you know this shit, you are a slave. There's no financial freedom. There is no time freedom. Because to be honest, financial freedom, if you're making 30 grand a month, cool. If you're working 10, 12 hours a day to do it, and it's not on your own thing, like sometimes I'll work 10, 12 hours, like that's cool and all, but like if you're working 10, 12 hours a day, and people talk about location freedom, that's some bullshit, okay? Nobody's calling at some beach club, okay? That's only on fucking Instagram Reels. You're not gonna find that shit on like the real shit. Yeah. The real shit is you sitting in your room, you got a stage light on or something, and you're just sitting there taking calls.
You're just dying, bro. It's like they don't talk about. It's like, yo, I'm in Mexico, bro. You're in Mexico in your room. It's a nice view outside, but you're looking into your laptop, like, and you're just fucking working. That's all they want. And here's even more. Like, you want to go to the fucking beach, and you're like, this guy's like, yo, do I really want to continue 20 minutes of reframing, or do I just want to go like, yeah, bro, you're just not worth it. Exit and go fucking nuts, right? It's a lot, no one talks about that. It's like, even with like a lot of like these gurus talking about like, yo, when you're on location, when you're there, it's different. But I'm like, bro, like, if I want to work, I want to work at home. I want to work in the office. End of story. I'm not gonna be working like this. I'm not gonna be focused. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We should talk about the guru shit later. I think that's a good topic.
And then now you're at a point where you're done with sales. Yeah. You've made your money, and now what's happening in your life?
Well, this is what happened. So, actually, there's a pretty cool story with this one. So, I remember I was watching again, bro. It's something with the chicken and rice. Oh my god! I was in my kitchen again, cooking chicken and rice, and I'm on my phone because whenever I'm cooking, I'm like, I need to watch something. Yeah. Because I'm bored, and I'm keeping in mind my YouTube is like only like online business shit. Yeah. Not like the weird motivational shit, but like people. Like actually, actually. Okay. Because I would watch like a ton of podcasts and just learning from a lot of people, and I remember this one guy. This guy pulls up. He's just sitting in his bedroom. This guy's talking how he made like $320,000 or some shit, and he looks like I don't know. He just looked a little off to me. I don't know why. He just looked slightly off to me. But again, you know, don't judge a book by its cover. So I was like, you know what? I just want to hear what he has to say. You know, I was curious. I click on the video. 5 minutes in, I'm like, holy fuck, this guy is spitting, right? It was like a 40-minute video. It's literally a 40-minute video of him calling me poor and how if you don't make money, your life is going to be shit, and how it's just not worth living because you're going to sit there wasting your life trying to scavenge some money to take the girlfriend that you doesn't even fuck with you on a vacation once a year, and you're scavenging to cancel your Netflix subscription so you can buy some food for her and all this, and she ends up leaving you. That's literally what he's saying. And I was like, damn, you know, he makes a fair point. You know, I don't have a girlfriend at the time, but like he makes a fair point. And at that point, I decided, I was like, yo, e-com is a thing. And I was like, I just started thinking to myself, like, I'm flipping this chicken, bro. And I'm like, hold on. I could literally work from anywhere, like actually, like, and e-com is like that. Because not every single task you're doing, like if I wanted to work at a beach club, would it be optimal? No. But could I? Yeah, I could run payroll, I could do all this other stuff, right? Like, I could actually get some work done. So I could literally work from wherever I want. I can wake up, do whatever the fuck. I don't have to set alarms, which I love. That's why I told you I was sleeping at 5 a.m. I can do that shit. I can hit that shit. If I want to move my team meeting, I can move it. I'll be like, yo guys, I'm not feeling it today. Let's move an hour ahead. It's not professional, but who gives a fuck? You run the team. It doesn't matter. As long as they respect you, it's cool, right? So you can kind of do whatever the fuck you want. The cap for earning, and this is one of the biggest things, it's uncapped. The cap is the number of humans on the planet, and I'd argue you run up a brand where you tap every single person in that niche, millions and millions of people, every single person has been sold to, and it's not a recurring subscription, so you can't target them again, but you sell to every single one of them, you can start a new brand.
Fair enough.
Right? Yeah. So I started thinking like, yo, this is like I understand it'll be hard, but like this is crazy. There's a lot of potential here. So I was like, all right, let me just he had a course. Yeah, this is another impulsive decision, $2,500. So I go upstairs, pull my car to buy it, and I was like, all right, I bought the course. Now I have to do it, right? And at the time, I was just learning a little bit here and there, whatever, because I was still in sales. This was May, and then I remember, I think this is how deep in the trenches I was, bro. Like I was a slave. I remember we went to Turkey.
Yeah.
Went to his house, all of our boys, whatever. Fozan wasn't there, just to preface before I tell you the story. So we're there, and we go out, and keep in mind, we're not doing anything bad. Like, no drugs, nothing. Like, we're good boys that day, okay? Or every day, actually. But we're doing nothing, and then we get into this fight with this one Indian guy.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, like, we're
on the
like,
streets?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, streets. So we get in fight with this Indian guy, and we're like just normal. We're just chilling.
Yeah.
This guy's drunk out of his mind.
Okay.
Some Indian guy, bro. He's drinking like crazy.
Yeah.
And this guy is just doing some weird shit. Like, I don't know what it was. I won't get into the story. I won't get into who was there because I don't want to incriminate anybody or anything. But point of the matter is, we end up getting into a fight, 5 versus like 15 people or something like that. And I remember as soon as this guy put his hand on one of my boys, bro, I started swinging.
Yeah.
So I'm just swinging
Well,
all
red.
Yes.
Okay.
It was. I had a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie. The adrenaline you feel from that shit. Oh my god. You don't have to hold back. Nothing. So that happened, and then I get like sucker punch, whatever. I swear I got hit with something else, not a fist, but whatever. Let's say I got sucker punch, and it's to the point where like my eye, like I felt it, like I knew it was fuck. Like I hit like right in my eye.
Yeah.
And right after that, we had to go to the hospital because I was like, I lost vision in my right eye. I thought I was gonna go blind. Then I was like playing my life with like one eye. I was like stressing out. I was like pulling my hair. I was stressing out. And the next day, the reason why I'm saying the story is the next day we had a webinar. You know webinars? We had a webinar for our sales team. And I was kind of stepping up to be a closer at that point, to kind of prove myself to close and shit. And I was getting hyped because I was like, yo, I'm gonna make hella bread, ton of lay downs, all this shit. I'll probably make like 4 bands. I'm literally sitting there, my right eye is gone, and the thing I'm worrying about is the webinar tomorrow and how I'm not gonna be able to take calls instead of my eye being fucking gone.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there, and I think about it like, oh my god, bro, I was like slave. Like, you know how crazy that is?
I feel like a lot of people have that with their 9 to 5 as well. And it's funny because people will shit talk a 9 to 5, but if you're in sales, bro, you're literally working this 9 to 9, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I will always say that because I'm like, bro, like, you guys are just like not even, it's just a contract based, and you're just working long hours, bro. You don't have no benefits, and I get it, you're not paying tax, but if you're making money, eventually you gotta pay all that shit aside, bro. Like, sales is really not that. It's the same thing a lot of like people go through is like something in their job where a family member dies and they just think about the next quarter earnings, bro. Yeah. Like, your entire life becomes shareholder value. And I'll even go as far as to say, like, bro, like, modern day, like, Escape the Matrix, all these like pyramid schemes, all these like gurus who are selling offers, whatever it may be, you're just like a glorified version of that. You know what I mean? And I'll be like, I worked in a corporate environment, and if I can relate to you, we're in the same thing, it's just wrapped in a different wrapper. You know what I mean? It's the 100%. Same talk at the end of the day. And no one will believe me until the people who actually work in it and they finally clock, like how you clocked it when you got clocked in the eye. It was like, that was the one that you're like, oh fuck, like I need to, like, that's your, I'm in the matrix. That's literally what it is. And then after that's how you reposition yourself. And I want to hear about how you reposition yourself now.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And right after that, I was like, I can't keep doing this shit anymore, you know? And I'm sitting there, and I'm like low-key, like kind of deep in it. I didn't fully deep it, but I'm like, yo, I can't keep doing this. I fucking hate this. I don't want to do sales. And now is when the e-com arc starts. So I remember I started working with this one guy who's big in e-com. I won't say his name, but I became a closer on his team because in my mind I was like, okay, at least I can keep a sales income. Keep in mind I would probably be making like $10,000 a month US, which is, you know, modern day. You made it out.
Yeah.
It's fuck all. Okay, I don't care if you get mad. 10K is nothing. Like, I'm sorry if it offends you. It's fuck all, right? And then we get to that point, and I'm like, okay, I'll keep the money. I'll make the money, and then I'll just work on e-com on the side. But it got to that point, I'm hopping on these sales calls, and I'm so passionate about e-com, I started telling him about e-com. I'm not doing sales anymore.
No way.
I was on a call with this one guy for 2.5 hours about e-com, just for him to give me some, I'll think about it objection, and I have no leverage on him. So I can't even like handle it. I'm like, you know, fuck it, it's okay, just leave my call. And at that point, I decided I'm done. So I was like, I lasted 1 week on that offer. I made $0 in that time, and I just went on about my day. And I like messaged the guy, because keep in mind, this guy's making millions with e-com. He's actually successful. He actually does what he says he does. And I sent him a voice message. I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I just want to do what you do. I'm done with sales. He's like, you know what? And I don't know why, I really remember this. He's like, at the end of the day, bro, like, just don't have shiny object syndrome and just follow where your heart's at. If your heart's with e-com, run it up. And that's all he said. So I ran it up. And then I started doing e-com. And I'm thinking, yo, I went through all this shit with sales, all this hardship and all that to get to the point I'm at. ecom's gonna be a breeze. You know, I already got that discipline. I got the momentum. I was fucking wrong, bro. It was like, I remember I started testing products, and you know, like you get like it's like that. What's that? There's like 5 stages when you start something.
Oh, when you know, so like, is it
Optimism?
like they get like the optimism? It's like informed pessimism.
Yep.
And then all that. Yeah.
Yeah, and next thing you know, there's like a valley of despair.
Yep.
That was my valley of despair. I was so hyped at the start. First, like, couple product tests, I'm going all the way up. I'm hyped. I'm optimistic. I remember getting my first sale. I was screaming downstairs, screaming, jumping. I don't know why I just got so hyped. Keep in mind, I was literally in the negatives. That day, I didn't even make a profit.
$500 ad spend, $100 product. Let's go.
Yeah, could you imagine? I spent $100 on ads that day.
Yeah.
And I had one sale for $60 without the product cost. Like, I'm down $70. I'm like, let's fucking go. I'm so hyped. I'll be running it up. I'm running around the bed. My sister calls me. She's like, what the fuck happened? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Like, are you dying? I was like, no, bro, I got a sale. She's like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? You know? And I was so hyped. And then fast forward, that store fails, obviously. Then I test another product. Actually, do I even bother talking about the specific products?
How many products happened until you found a winning one? And tell me more about that journey now.
Rephrase the question. How many products have I tested overall? Or like...
Okay, so while you've gone to the 7-figure mark, you're still testing new products?
No. I mean, up until the point where I found a product that I started running up.
Yeah.
So that, I believe, was 25 products.
Wow.
Yeah. So...
And the span of how long?
6 months.
How much money did you drop during that time? Ads, everything.
Start off with 25K in savings because I had no income. I dropped my income. By the end of it, I was at about 7. So,
wow. So you dropped about
like 18 beds.
18 beds, yeah.
Across those 6 months.
Okay. And just testing. And then when did you start seeing gold? Like what happened? Tell me about that.
Like when I first started
glory. Tell me the glory. Tell me the 7-figure ecom CEO in that we all know and love. What happened?
Bro, the truth is, I actually there's just like no glory. Like, I still don't feel that now. Like, maybe there's like a certain point.
No, there was a point where, okay, like, you know, revenue minus expenses had profit, and profit was looking good. What's that?
Well, like, initially profitable.
Like this one that we're talking about right now, like 1.7, like that you got into.
Okay. Well, glory, I take glory in the sense of like, okay, I made it. I'm satisfied with this. That has never came. But profit, yeah. So profit, that was 6 months in. I was testing this product, which is the product I'm running now, and I didn't even have like this. Like, when you test a product, you have a lot of conviction in it, and you check all your boxes, your product research, check all the boxes, you test it, whatever, and then you apply learnings from the previous and all this stuff. I did that, but I didn't have this innate feeling like, yo, this is the one. To be honest, I thought it was gonna fail. Like, I'm not gonna lie. So we're testing it, and a little ecom sauce will actually turn me profitable because I'm testing it. And keep in mind, I'm break even unprofitable for the first like couple days, getting close to a week. And I remember what turned us like proper profitable was a landing page, which, if you guys have seen any TikTok I've made ever, okay, no, I guess it's some specific TikToks, but landing pages like are broken. So if you haven't tested a landing page with your store, like, a landing page is so good and so slept on. Like, even one of my boys now, he was unprofitable. I told him to test a landing page. He says, nah, but this guy said not to do it. He doesn't do it for 2 weeks. Then he listens to my advice. He tests the landing page, and now he's doing like 5, 6, 7K days, whatever. He's making money, or he's doing good. Like, landing pages work. That's my point, okay? But I test the landing page, and it does well. Then we start scaling up a little bit, but it was a very gradual scale. Like, I know in dropshipping, like, you'll see some people that'll kind of go like all the way up and then come crashing down because they have no backend, no fulfillment. They don't have anything customized. Their fucking page sucks. I have no branding at all. And like, don't get me wrong, I don't have this like even now, I don't have this like crazy brand set up or like we're on Amazon.
Are you ever gonna talk about the brands you have? Like, openly drop a name or no?
Maybe if I sell it, I'll probably have to sign an NDA and stuff. Nah, I'm just gonna gatekeep like the rest of the e-com community because what am I, fucking Superman, bro?
Fair enough.
Who am I to do that shit, bro? Unless I sell something where it's like openly I create the product and like you can't actually copy it, then I don't give a fuck, I'll say. But if it's a dropshippable product, no, I'm not saying it, bro. Nobody told me. Why should, you know that saying? It's like the father left, repeat the cycle.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So it's like the same thing. But I will give hints along the way, and I actually give more sauce, I would argue, than a lot of people that like stuff I've implemented that has worked for me.
So then how would you say your life's changed since you hit the 7-figure mark? Because now I feel like the way it sounds like you're at the this is not enough type of thing.
Yeah.
But is there a mix of contentness in this aspect in your life right now, or what's happening?
Well, when I reached the 7-figure mark, to be honest, I didn't really feel much. The most dopamine I felt was the first sale.
Okay.
The second most was 1K a day. And after that, 10K got like a smile.
10K a day?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then 10K a day, I was smiling, it was pretty nice, but I just went on about my day. And then 7 figures was like, oh, okay, finally.
Okay.
You know? Like that's kind of what it felt like.
It's about time.
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you think that is? Because on paper, I'm sure like Rayan 2 years ago or something, if you told him that he'd be at 7 figures, would that be something that would entice you? I would say yes.
Yeah, funny enough, I actually have a card I put my wallet in the car, but I have a card on my wallet that says, I am actively running a 7-figure e-commerce brand.
So there was a goal for you.
I wrote that 15, give or take 15 days right before starting this product.
Oh, fire.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Which is kind of crazy. But don't get me wrong, it's almost like you chase something for so long and you visualize it
and once
for
you
a really long time.
okay.
Once you get it, you just don't care anymore. It's like imagine chasing a girl for 2 years.
Exactly.
You want this girl for 2 years. Oh, I want her. She's like, okay, I'll be yours. And you're like, I don't want to play with you
Chase
anymore,
is
bro.
gone.
Yeah, I don't care about you.
So would you say that you're a point in life where you miss the chase and you want to chase more? Okay.
Yeah.
And then how are you actively chasing? Like, what are we actively chasing or want to chase?
That's the question. And it's something I'm thinking about a lot, because at this point, it's like I can't buy these crazy supercars yet, or I just started making money. People hear 50K a month. Oh, this guy must be a millionaire. But I don't have $1 million.
Okay, so let's talk about this money then. What's profit margin? Because everyone will say 6 figures, say 7 figures is not always 7 figures in profit, right? There is a thing. If I was starting e-com, what's the realistic profit margin I would say then? At 10K, 50K, 60K, 70K, 100K, tell me all about that.
It can range, but like a good profit margin, like someone that's doing good, I would say is like 25 to 30%.
And that's
good?
Would that be profit after salaries and expenses, or is that just
No. That's
revenue minus expense?
Profit minus cost of
gross
goods,
margin
minus ad spend, minus transaction fees. That's about it.
Okay.
Employees, the people don't take it into account, bro. Like employees, agencies, bro. At one point we had an agency. Our monthly expenses were like 25K, right? We had to slip it down, but like right now we're probably bouncing around like 20K just monthly expenses, US.
Wow.
So it's like if we don't profit $20,000 in a month, we're in the negatives. You know, so it's like people don't account for that. They don't see that. They just see this flashy number on Shopify. See his dashboard. Oh, 1.8 million. Oh, $2 million. $5 million. Holy shit, he's a millionaire.
So what would you say stepping into this role of being a millionaire on paper, or let's just say like that, right? And all these things, what would be the biggest lesson you've learned throughout? Both in the aspect of e-com as well as your own personal life.
I think the one overlapping lesson that would apply to both would probably be, if you see a vast majority of people doing one thing, run the opposite direction. Okay. And I know some people say that, and like there's even like some image online where like people are walking down one path and there's one guy going down that path.
Yeah.
Be the guy that's going down this path, because chances are, if the vast majority of people are doing a specific thing, it is either completely wrong or there's a better way to do it.
So then with drop shipping, and you hear all the people talking about drop shipping, why can't you put that same type of...
Well, because there's, like, drop shipping is just this buzzword, right?
Fair enough.
Like, drop shipping is what? Like, I was drop shipping when I sold brownies to the fat kid. Bought brownies, sold them at a markup. The only thing there is there's no Chinese supplier in between. They're texting on Microsoft Teams.
China to be honest, where you're just not texting them.
Yeah.
Those brownies are fake as hell.
Yeah.
At least at this point, though. I mean, but that's health for another time. Okay, fair. So your biggest lesson would say is kind of knowing when to distinguish between. Is it like
I will add on to that actually.
Fair enough.
How do I word this? Doing essentially not necessarily the opposite, but just something different to the vast majority of people, but also critically thinking and analyzing why you're doing that thing. And if you cannot come to a conclusion, then you're just following kind of another path that someone else has created for you. So critical thinking, I would add to that.
You speak a lot about being obsessed with League of Legends. Like when you were young, you were fat, you were obsessed with eating, obsessed with
You
League of
remember that
Legends.
shit, don't you?
Obsessed with eating, then all of a sudden you got obsessed with League, then you got obsessed with the gym, and now it's like this. Talk to me about obsessions in your life and how you can distinguish one from like a healthy one to a detrimental one, and how you balance an obsession with the rest of your life, or is that obsession almost necessary in life in general to succeed?
Well, I can give a slightly longer answer to this one because I don't know. I think highly on this topic. For me, I just get hyper obsessed with anything, whether and it goes both ways. It can go good and bad. If I'm on a strict diet, I'll be super strict to the point where you will like look at my meals in utter disgust, or I'll be fat as fuck.
Fair.
Right? I'll either go super crazy in the gym where like you'll look at my results and you'll think I'm on like test or something, or actually no, I've always gone to the gym, but I would train with a lot less intensity.
Okay.
Right? So it's like consistent obsession either one way or the other, but it's like you're doing something consistently. I'd argue if you're eating shit food all the time, it's not that you're inconsistent, you're just consistently eating shit food.
Okay.
So you're obsessed with eating shit food. And that has always spoken to me. And my biggest thing has been trying to get obsessed with the right things.
Okay.
Because whether it's, relationships, drugs, anything, I know if I touch it, I will get obsessed. Like, I don't drink, but if I drank, I would be an alcoholic, 100%, no doubt in my mind. I'd be wearing wife beaters probably. So I don't drink, right? So I just stop myself before it happens. And I feel like there's a pro and a con to that trait. And to answer your question of whether or not you need to be obsessed, I think it's necessary.
Now, this is a new part of the podcast where I'm going to ask you a bunch of rapid fire questions, and they go from lighthearted to serious to business focus, a little bit of everything, okay?
All right.
Ready? Coffee or energy drinks?
Say it again?
Coffee or energy drinks?
Energy drinks.
Okay, which was the go-to?
Monster.
Fair enough. I'm a Red Bull enjoyer, but morning person or night owl?
Night.
Okay. What's the weirdest product you've ever sold?
There's like these fucking camel toe panties or some shit.
No way.
Yeah.
If you were in e-com, what would you be doing?
Some other online business, I don't know. Aside from OFM, anything. Like,
One app you can't live without?
app. Clash Royale. No, I'm just joking. No, I'm joking. Probably Slack. Because I can't text my team without it.
Fair enough.
I don't know.
Favorite hype song before a big day or in the gym?
Bring Me Back to Life. I hit my 315 PR with that.
Oh, it's called Bring Me Back to Life? Who's it from?
Bring Me Back to Life. Evanescence.
Okay, never heard of that.
You probably know it if I played it.
Favorite book?
As of now, probably 48 Laws.
Okay.
Just because that was like one of the first books I read that kind of got me into it all.
Fair enough. Order from Home Fit, is it a hoodie or is it a button-up?
A hoodie.
Okay. If your brand was an animal, what would it be?
If my brand.
Your personal brand.
Personal brand. I don't know. Fuck, an owl, bro. Because my profile picture's got that OVO hoodie.
Fair enough. First purchase you made after hitting 7 figures, or the biggest purchase you've made?
First trip to Dubai.
That was your biggest purchase? Okay. Best purchase you've made?
Probably another course.
Fair enough.
Haven't spent that much money, bro. I have no watch, I have no car. I will soon, though.
I kind of want to shift it to another direction where, from what I've seen you personally and through your brand and everything, there's a common theme that often gets highlighted, which is betting on yourself. And I feel like you're someone, mashallah, who's actually an embodiment of someone who's actually bet on himself through each step of the way. Whether it be selling your car and going into sales, dropping sales and getting into e-com, failing 25 products until you find your winning one. I feel like you're just someone who's bet on himself and like actually went through with it. A lot of times you see people who try to do that but don't actually make it to where you are now. What would you say they do differently than what you did, in your opinion?
They have a plan B. That's it. If you have boats that you can fall back on, if you look back and you see a pathway that's still there for you to take, then you betting on yourself is a waste of time, because then you're not betting, right? So I would say they just don't go all the way.
Touching on that, I think there's a funny, like, I think it was the Vikings or the Greek, whoever, someone would do it where when they would go and raid and pillage a village, would they come in on the boats and they would burn those same boats?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of, same thing. Exactly what you're talking about. And I think you've done that to the point where it's always what you want to do. But you've also spoke about times in your life where you didn't feel like you know what was going on. It was kind of like life is going through, like just happening instead of going through you, right? And I feel like a lot of people can relate with the fact that maybe they don't have the motivation in their head. They know they can do more, but then it's not happening. What would you say to people in that scenario itself, where they're battling their own mental fucking battle about, I know this is not what I want to do, but I know I want to do here, but I'm not, and I feel really bad about not having this one like object. What's your fourth take on that?
That's the first time I did it was really easy because I just like hated my life. And like if you hate something enough, if you're in a spot that's like painful enough, then you'll do whatever to get out of it. Like you're not really gonna question it. For me, what I've always done is I've tried to almost create that pain for myself, which is, what's the word, like sadistic, or I don't know what it is. There's a word where people like actually like to hurt themselves. I don't actually hurt myself, but like put yourself in uncomfortable but really uncomfortable positions in new environments. That's what I've always done, because growing up, like I have a pathway in front of me to become a doctor. You know, like if I really wanted to live like a normal life, I could. Like I feel like growing up middle class, I had a very comfortable upbringing. You know, it's not like I have a single mom and you don't have to take her out the trenches or on welfare, like as you hear in every other podcast. Yeah. That's also, I won't drag it out. But something I was always thought of, you know, like, yo, can I even make it? Because like, I'm not from the trenches, bro. I'm from the suburbs. Like, and I feel like a lot of people relate with that, because not everybody's just in the trenches. And for me, that
middle ground.
Yeah, and I'd argue it's harder to get out of that, right? Because if you're in a sense of comfort, it's super hard to get out. You're like, believe it or not, if you are in the trenches, you are blessed to some degree.
The best ball players started with nothing. The best, like, you know, everyone.
Yeah, everybody
who made the most always, or like had the least.
Exactly. So it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. It's a blessing if you use it, curse if you don't.
Do you feel like it's people try crawling out, but they just don't crawl far enough? Because you can have people in a really bad situation, but they're still in that situation. And people in your life, you may know that. You know what I mean?
Because I don't think it's a sense of not crawling far enough. I think it could be a lack of, I wouldn't even say information. I was going to say information, but I don't think that's true. I think it's a lack of competence. And that is something that is, I don't know how to instill in someone. Do I think I'm the most competent person in the world? No. But do I think I'm competent enough to make a couple $1 million or many $1 million in my life? Yeah, I think so. And not a lot of people have that competence. Like, you see people in these TikTok comment sections asking questions that you can just Google. I don't ask stupid questions. I ask a question once a month, but that question is a really good fucking question because I couldn't come up with an answer on my own. And people lack competence. So to answer your question, I don't think it's that they didn't crawl far enough. I just think they didn't have the competence in the first place to either start crawling or they're placebo crawling. Because I know for a fact if you crawl far enough in almost any direction, you'll get somewhere at least.
It's like doing everything else but doing the thing.
Yeah, right? That's what a lot of people do too.
Okay. Yeah. And then when you kind of talk about, like, I think with your brand, everyone wants to get into e-com, because another thing kind of relating to everything is when you see someone in your own community do something, you realize it's possible, right? Because this isn't some random person on TikTok. It's, okay, he's like a regular guy. He looks like me, same color skin, same religion, back, whatever. And then it kind of makes it look real. And when now you're at a point where a lot of people look up to you in that aspect, and I think their first question is, how do I start? What should I do? What's your answer to that?
Well, how do you start? You just start somewhere. Now, where do you start? If you want to go to co.rin04, I don't even think there's a dot, co.rin04, there's a whole boot camp. You can learn from that. You can learn, and that's free. Or you can pay someone to buy a course from somebody. That's what I did. Those just fast track your success. But the truth of it all is all the information is already online. Like, people just don't search. They just don't use Google. They don't use ChatGPT. They say they don't know where to start, but they haven't even tried searching. Bro, if you lose a ring in the grass and you say, I can't find it, like, have you even tried looking? Like, bro, get on your knees and start looking in the grass. Like, start doing something. Start moving, right? You're not going to lose weight if you just stand there. At least start moving. You're not going to lose fucking 50 pounds overnight, but, you know, shit, you might lose 2 calories.
Fair enough.
Like, start. Do something. And, that, like, again, it goes back to competence. I can't tell you exactly how to start. I can tell you there's a boot camp. I can tell you... I like giving the courses that I joined to people I know, and they just don't start. So
fair enough.
You know.
Do you feel like because there's so much information online, it looks like a huge sea, and you just don't know where to fish?
Yeah, that is also true. That's why people bounce from business model to business model, right? It's like you see one thing, but you want to try another, or you feel a little bit of discomfort, and then you want to try something else because you think the grass is greener, but the grass is still grass, and you just gotta fuck around and find out. But what people do is they fuck around, they find out, but they don't learn from one lesson. And a lot of people don't even learn from 10 lessons. They just keep repeating the same thing, keep repeating escape the matrix and all this bullshit. Like, you can just by the verbiage some people use, like, I can like tell, like, yo, I would never be friends with you, bro. I would never.
And what does that verbiage kind of look like?
The rinse and repeated shit. It goes back to critical thinking.
You ever feel like you speak to people who don't have their own thoughts?
Yeah.
In the sense of, I think even with the podcast where, like, we kind of spoke about this earlier, a lot of times I have my own episodes I don't release, right? And the reason for that is that he's telling me one thing, but I've heard it from 5 different other mouths.
Yeah.
And it's not his idea, right? And I get, like, there's, at the end of the day, no idea is your idea. Everything's like a remix of something else. But it comes to a point where you realize that, like, you lack not just critical thinking, but your own thoughts, right? And people, or at least, like, or I like to say, it's kind of going back to the period of isolation. It's really important to a time where people talk about this lonely chapter, but for me, what that kind of entailed was not just cutting people off and, like, just being lonely, because that's just being a loner, and a lot of people are like that, yet still miserable. I think it took, I would say, journaling, or even for me, I'm a yapper, so I always like to record and speak, because I was like, I don't have a good handwriting, everything. I made that excuse, so I was like, I can at least talk. That's one thing I was always good at. So I was like, I make all these journals to myself, going like, no, man, this is how you're feeling, this is the reality of it, and I'd be super vulnerable. I would never look those videos back, to be honest. Like, God knows where they are.
I have those too,
right? Yeah. I would make them, and for me, it was like understanding that this is a period in my life where I know something will change, something has to change, and I'll be better for it, but I just don't know what it is yet. And I think it's continuously understanding where that self-mastery is like the main topic. I think what everyone who's successful goes through is that's like their main underlying thing. And whether you are at 10 million or $10, whatever it may be, everyone is at this core perpetually in motion, or perpetually in the pursuit of self-mastery, right? And if you look at anyone who's successful, or even let's say you, there's a lot of topics about how to get rich in e-com, what's a good landing page, but then there's the other chapter of being open about, this is how I feel about this is where my mindset messed up here. And it took the almost relearning and re-understanding everything about life for you to get where you are, because you've then tied the goal of self-mastery and the goal of success into one thing, right? Whereas a point where you feel like 7 figures, mashallah, is great, and you feel happy, but you don't feel content because you're still pursuing self-mastery. So then would you say that success for you now kind of lies in the, I wouldn't say an end goal, but eventually getting to that point of self-mastery rather than an actual numerical figure?
I feel like, damn, that was actually very well worded, bro. I feel like I could have commented on like 5 different things you said. Damn. No. Self-mastery. I feel like, yeah, I've put so much more thought into that these last like 2-3 months. And I think that's also why I was really pushing myself to move to Dubai. Like, I leave in like 3-4 days, and to be honest, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. Like, I'm kind of just going there. And my original plan was to go in November. You know, now I pushed it to September because I'm like, yo, I have to just be alone again for a bit. I feel like I've been kind of losing myself in a way here, but losing myself in a way where I enjoy it. But that enjoyment is not good because I can't enjoy it, but accept it, because I'll enjoy it and I'll go to sleep unfulfilled. And I feel like that concept, or being able to master that, or being able to even accept that, ties into exactly what you're saying. Like, some of these things I can't accept yet because maybe I haven't hit a certain revenue goal, or I haven't hit a certain point where I'm like, okay, I'm okay. I can, balance these things. Even though I don't believe in balance, I believe in seasons. And I feel like that's like, you need seasons of self-mastery where you have to reflect, you have to analyze. And if you're an e-com, like one thing I used to do, I love to do, is I fucking split test my whole life. How do I feel in this situation? How do I feel in this situation? How do I feel on this supplement? How do I feel on this supplement? How do I feel when I eat this? How do I feel when I eat that? Okay, if I eat chicken and rice, I feel good. If I eat taza, if you guys know what that is, I feel like shit. Maybe I should not order taza. You know? Like you kind of split test all these things, and you learn more about yourself.
So then how do you see yourself, like, when I see obsession, I see people going like, you need to do all in one thing. Say 10 years from now, you have a wife and a kid. Are you not making money? How are you balancing that? So then you almost have to learn to balance. But tell me more about that, where you see that. Or is that one of those things where you don't want to comment because it's still not like something you have, but at the same time you do have relationships in your life, both intimate, personal, whatever it may be to you, and you still find a way to balance that. Like right now we're talking, we found a way. How do you balance that then?
I don't, to be honest. I still don't, and I talk to my dad about this all the time. Talk to him about it today. That I understand. I'm able to reflect enough and analyze enough to understand that eventually it will have to be at that point, because I don't plan on being Elon Musk, I don't plan on being like fucking crazy. I just want to have a sense of freedom, and for me to reach that point, I don't think it would take that drastic of a time frame for me to lose that balance eventually. But as of right now, I can't accept that balance into my life. And it kind of ties into seasons, right? Like I know you mentioned like...
Why Dubai though? Why Dubai is one of the seasons for you? Why not? I mean, maybe Bali has more.
Because then I can't look back. I'm across the world, bro.
Fair enough.
I come across the world and taxes. Taxes is a big part of it.
Fair.
But also the fact that it's a whole new environment. I understand Dubai's fake. I understand, like I went there for 2 weeks. I've seen it, and to be honest, I kind of like it. I fuck with the fact that it's artificial, because I know I'm there temporarily.
Okay.
So if I'm in an artificial,
so it's not like a be all end all thing for you.
No.
How long do you see yourself being there?
Probably 2 years. Maybe I extend it. I don't know. Okay. But
would you see yourself shortening it?
No, because my residency is 2 years, and I'd have to stay for 6 months out of the year. So pretty much accepted for the next 2 years at least, until if I renew or whatever, maybe I find a different way.
So I want to touch on a couple of things in my head right now, because I had this conversation with our good friend Hamza before about just because a place has enough for you, that doesn't mean you should leave it, or that doesn't mean you should stay. And our example was the gym, and I know you've talked about it before, from going from Fitfless to Pure Muscle. And what I was kind of talking about today was, you can have more than enough at LA Fitness, but if you really want to see that growth, you need to go to a different gym, right? And yes, you can make progress in any gym, but I feel like once you feel like this is enough for me, I'm content, I think that's the problem, where you need to almost like bite the bullet, pay the X amount of money, and then you level up. Tell me a little bit more about that.
I would say, give me a specific area, because I feel like this can apply to anything. The gym or gym. Well, for me, I could say, because like I went from start at Fit for Less, and funny enough, I posted a reel on. You know what I'm talking about?
I saw that. Yeah.
I posted that reel, and I'm at this gym in Dubai. I can't wait to go back. I swear, I'm going first day. I don't care how tired I am. I'm going first day. I'm getting my membership. It's fucking sick. Oxygen Dubai.
Yeah.
Sick.
My boy wants to. Yeah.
So sick. And I made a video saying like, yo, Fit for Less could never. You know, and it's just like the sick ass gym. Like, yo, so cool, it's not all this stuff. But people started, defending Fit for Less and shit, talking about, oh, he's actually affordable and it has less. I don't give a fuck. Bro, I've seen some crazy jacked guys at the gym. That doesn't mean because you can, you should, right? Kind of what you're talking about. For me, I could have trained at Fit for Less, whatever, but I wanted to kind of go in a different environment, right? Like if you want to take something seriously, you're going to progress somehow. Right? Whether it's inside the gym or outside, or whether it's physically the gym, that's what I did, is I went to Pure Muscle. Because Pure Muscle, well, who's there? People on steroids. Now, if my baseline goes from, no racism intended, but like, just Indians hogging the machines at Fit for Less to jacked white guys on steroids, now my baseline's increased. I'm like, yo, I just got more testosterone being there. It's fucking sick. So like, and then also just the people that go there are just a lot more locked in. They're a lot more locked in. It's a different environment, different vibe. People, I'm like, now I'm not that jacked anymore. I'm actually probably the smallest one.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And I look outside and you see some fancy cars. I see some people, some Ferraris, some Porsches and stuff. Like, it's just a better environment because it kind of expands your horizon
of what's possible.
Yeah.
Right.
And one more thing I'll add to that is like a simple one that anybody can understand, even if you're a fat fuck and you don't go to the gym. It's like restaurants. Like going from, bro, one of the greatest things, I want to throw this in here because one of the biggest fucking things I can't get enough of. This is the one thing that I really fuck with, and the biggest difference from making money and not making money. Going out to eat with your boys at a nice restaurant, because it is the greatest feeling. And it is the greatest feeling when you and your boys are trying to figure out where to eat. One spot is $20 and one spot is $30, and you want to eat the $30 spot, but you go to 20 because the guy in the back said he doesn't want to spend the $10. Like, yo, fuck off. I don't care how much money you have. When I $200, I'll still go to a $30 spot. But being able to switch from like a lower end restaurant to a higher end restaurant, that feeling, now you are the type of person to go to a higher end restaurant. And people might say that as like a lifestyle change, but it's almost like it elevates you. So now you go to a better gym, and you go to better restaurants, you drive better cars and all this stuff. And now it's almost like you kind of have to keep up with it, because then you feel off if you don't have it, which could be a pro and a con.
It's like lifestyle inflation.
Yeah, I don't know.
So now kind of switching into people like in e-commerce in general, what would you say the top 5 skills to have if pursuing a business like this? An overall entrepreneurship.
Okay, 2 questions for you. E-com or entrepreneurship as a whole?
Give me both.
Both? Before starting or during?
If
while
you
you're
said,
actively doing it.
If you looked at 5 different people and they had X amount of traits, but there are 5 traits you know of, like, say, a successful person. I don't want to say it like that in a corny way, but like, what are those 5 traits you're like, yo, if you have this, like, there's no way you're not gonna be?
Competence is one. I love that word. Competence is huge. Intuition is another one, because, or actually I'll say each word and I'll say why. Competence, because if you're not competent, you just can't, like, the way I see it is kind of like critical thinking in a way, which also ties into intuition, where you can't analyze and do things on your own. Someone has to tell you what to do. If you can't do things for yourself, like, bro, there's so many problems, especially in a game like e-com. There's some problems other people have not dealt with. So if you can't deal with them, you're just gonna fail. Another one would be hunger, whether that's you're blessed with hunger by being born in a shitty position, and you might take that as offensive. If you have a shittier position, I'd argue that it's also a benefit.
For the drive.
Because it could take you so much farther if you actually use it. It's there for you to use, and some people use it, some people don't. But I would say that's a big trait. Another one would probably be it's not a single word, but willingness to fail. Being able to fail it's huge, because it kind of takes away from the ego aspect, right? Because when you fail, nobody likes failing, right? You want to succeed on first try. Newsflash, you're not going to succeed first try. Anything you do. Your first podcast episode probably got like no views. My first TikTok, no views. First store, failed. First everything, maybe you're in some loving relationship, but probably first relationship failed too. So everything you do for the first time is going to fail, most of the time. And if you're okay with that, that's a huge trait. And the other one is, I would say, being able to, again, if I could put this into one word, being able to reflect. Is there a word for that?
Constant reflections.
Reflection? Okay, sure. I guess that's a trait. Reflection. Being able to not only know how to fail, but being able to learn from your failures. Right? Because a lot of people will fail, but they either don't know why they failed, or they haven't even thought about why they failed. They just fail without thinking. And if you fail, and keep doing the same thing over and over again, at that point it's almost kind of like an odd. There was a saying for it. It's like it's basically insanity, because it failed.
Understood. So you're okay. Cool. So failing without understanding why you're failing is kind of, you're in this hamster wheel of you're just over and over again. It'll happen again and you won't even realize it. If you were broke, what would you do?
Find a way to make money. Just go online, start searching.
Would it be service-based businesses? Would it be a 9 to 5? What would it be?
At the start, something service-based, or if I had to work a job. Yeah.
Okay, a little bit more serious. What was your very first store product? I guess that's how serious.
IPL hair remover. IPL hair remover. It's like this little thing that you zap for women. Like,
Fair enough.
hair. Yeah.
Biggest turning point in your journey?
Like ever?
The critical point where you're like, damn.
Probably after my relationship ended. My first breakup. That shit fucked me up.
What happened?
I can't lie.
Was this when you were in sales? What happened?
No, this is before. This is before I even started the clothing brand.
Oh shit.
This is actually probably what led me into that deep downward spiral, which ended up making me find myself. Which was like, I contribute a lot to that.
Most expensive mistake you've ever made in e-com?
Our checkout was broken. We lost $5,000 in 2 days.
Your checker?
Yeah, checkout.
Oh shit.
Our checkout was broken for 2 days, and we lost $5,000. And then another time the domain didn't work, we lost another $3,000.
One thing you thought mattered in the beginning, but actually didn't.
What people thought about my progress.
The number one thing you wish, the number one skill every new e-com founder should learn.
Failing fast.
Fail often, fail fast. Do you think e-com is harder or easier now compared to when you started?
Now, I wouldn't necessarily say it's any different. The only difference I would say maybe is like tariffs, but even then, your cogs go up for the US by a couple dollars. Like, it's not that big of a deal. You could start the same as I did.
Fair enough. How do you deal with burnout?
Just stop being gay. I don't know. Like, you just do it.
One underrated e-com growth hack you wish more people used?
Landing pages.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What separates a 7-figure store from a struggling one?
It's usually just creatives. That's essentially it.
How do you find a good creative?
You make them.
Who makes a good creative?
Comes from a shit ton of research. That's actually what I'm learning now. I bought a course on being able to do research better.
So you're still in a perpetual self-development. I like that.
I've spent so much on education, bro, more than any college degree.
Who inspired you early on?
Can I even say his name, bro? Mr. Top G himself.
Fair enough. Honestly, say it.
I can't lie. No, but also like not partially him. I got a lot of respect for him, but again, it's like that concept of critical thinking. Like when I watch him, I like to think about a lot of what he says, because certain things I don't agree with. Like I don't want multiple women in my life. I just want one. Right, but I can understand why he'd say you want multiple, shit like that. But another one is the other guy, the other top G is Iman Gadzi.
Oh yeah?
I resonate with him a lot. I don't know. I really fuck with him. So
what's your why behind building these businesses?
This business, there is no why aside from achieving freedom and being able to show essentially just my parents that I was able to make it out without school.
If you could go back in time and give yourself if you can go back in time and give your 18-year-old self one piece of information or advice, what would that be?
You're making it sound like I'm 35, bro. That was like 3 years ago.
Let's go your younger self.
18? I think this was the breakup time. So I think, was that? No, that was 19. 18. It's okay for things to change, for you to change your mind on things.
What keeps you hungry even after hitting such big numbers?
The honest answer is the last 2 months I've felt a lot more comfortable than normal, and just now I'm getting back into this obsessive period. But what keeps you hungry is accepting that I've gotten complacent for a temporary period of time, and then realizing that I'm not shit and that I can be doing so much more, and then striving for more, hitting a new goal, getting complacent for a bit. It's like this constant loop. But
if your story was a movie, what would the title be?
I know you said rapid fire, but that's a...
It's a little deeper one.
Force yourself to feel seen.
Okay. How do you measure success outside of money?
Fulfillment.
What's one... Okay, I already know this one. Okay, what's one risk that paid off massively and one other risk that didn't?
Well, I could name like 7 risks that paid off massively.
Okay, let's do the one that didn't.
The one that didn't? There isn't necessarily one big risk that hasn't paid off or like big enough for me to count as a big risk. But I could say, like, for example, I invested $5,000 into a podcast agency to create ads for me, and they made the shittiest ads ever.
Really?
Yeah, I can't lie. They just made shit ads. And, another time I paid some money to some guy to edit me videos. Another couple grand down the drain. Barely made me any videos, all this shit, whatever. So, like, these little things, like, where I lose a little bit of money, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't consider them that big. So I wouldn't say I have a big risk, I would say.
Do you believe in strict routines to win this game? To win in this game?
Yes, but in seasons. I think winning is a definition that you can create for yourself by critically thinking and understanding what it is you actually want to do and what you want to achieve in this life. If you want to be Elon Musk, by all means, your entire social life is going to be gone. Chances are you're going to have no real relationship with your kids. Maybe you'll have a little bit, but it's not going to be that strong. You're not going to have much time with them. So it's like a sacrifice you give. But if your goal is to make enough money to be free, and you want to have, family, you want to spend time with your loved ones and stuff, you have enough season. One season where you're strict, 3-4 months. Another season where maybe a couple months you're not so strict, right? Your business is in maintenance. You're actually enjoying the money that you've made, enjoying your life. I think it just comes down to what you want.
The last thing I want to end this off with is, where can we find you and what's next in the life of CEO Rayan? Well, actually, no, sorry, one more question. If you left the world today, how would you want to be remembered by?
I saw this question and I was just thinking, like, damn. I saw it in the thingy. I didn't know the answer for it then. I probably don't know the answer for it now, but I think I don't care what the world remembers me by. I only care what the select few that I hold close to me think of me as. And if they see me as someone that is respectable, loving, caring, was able to be there for them, was able to provide for them, and overall, me being in their life was a benefit to them rather than a detriment, then I've lived a successful life.
Very well. I like that one. Now, lastly, where can we find you and what's next?
You could probably find me on TikTok.
Do you see yourself doing short form still, or do you want to transition to more long form? What's up with that? Because I know we were talking about that before.
So brain rot, bro.
And I feel like now that Dubai is coming around, it may be a time where you might think, no more TikTok, maybe it's all just YouTube. Hire a team of clippers.
I could, bro. So many people have told me to do that. And, like, realistically, I could, but the content that I enjoy recording, that I enjoy posting, doesn't get views because people are so brain rot in this economy.
I did see you make a second account related to just talks. I don't know if that was you or not.
Oh, that was Turkey.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. But that was based on the YouTube videos, right? I think YouTube, what I want to steer from, I've decided I don't care to sell a course, to be honest. I don't want to.
Flip it, because if he never does an offer, this is what's going to go viral. Because so many people said the same thing, but he said he's not going to do a course.
No, I have like the Discord.
Okay.
But to be fair, the Discord is literally $147 a month, and everything in there is more than what I paid $2,500 for. And with all due respect, if you can't afford $147 a month, go get a fucking job. With all due respect, if you think it's a lot of money, fuck off. Don't
Fair
join.
enough.
Don't make. Or
what does the Discord have? Actually, no, plug it. What does the Discord actually have? What do you do there,
bro? Discord is literally just video course. So there's a ton of videos in there that you can learn from. and there's AMA calls weekly, which I actually haven't done.
What's an AMA mean?
Ask me anything.
Okay.
So you can just hop on a call, ask questions, whatever. I'm in the chats. If you have questions, I'll answer them. But also just being a part of kind of like a community where other people are kind of doing the same thing as you. I feel like it doesn't matter if you join this community, another community, join a community, because if you're around people that are like-minded, which chances are your friends are not like-minded to you, you're much more likely to succeed, whether you directly work with them or indirectly. So
love that.
Just being around those people, being around other people that are on the same path as you, on the same mission as you, is very important. And a ton of resources too, bro. You get my private supplier, you get all this shit, bro. It's fucking
not bad. Dropping sauce.
Yeah, you get a ton of shit, but yeah, by course I mean like high ticket, because I was thinking about it, but I'd rather just get better at marketing, run another brand. I'd make more money that way anyways. If I run a high ticket program for 10 people, a small tight knit group, like how I would want to do it, $5,000 each, it's like what, 12.5 grand a month.
One more thing, kind of off topic on the exit, but if you were to tell people who you've given knowledge to or have access to it and still aren't successful, what would you say then?
Keep going.
Okay.
Because if it hasn't clicked yet, then eventually it will. But if you don't believe that it, one is belief, and the second is just continue to keep going. Because if you lack belief, if you lack self-confidence, why would it happen? Like, it's never going to come to you. Maybe there's areas in my life or certain situations where I'm less confident, whatever. But when it comes to me making money, I can publicly put out there, I am very confident in me doing so. There might come times where that will try to creep in, but it doesn't matter. I'll just bounce back, because like, what else are you gonna do? You're just gonna fucking die poor? Like, I feel like it's so meaningless. And it's not even just about the money. It's just, I feel like the money is kind of like a trial. Like, the faster you can get to the money, to the point where you can live your life, is when you can start living. It's like I'm living a free trial. And I don't want to live a free trial. The only way you're going to play the paid version is if you believe that you can do it and you keep going. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, CRN.